How we doing, everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. If you're one of my already amazing community members, welcome back and thank you as always for your continued support. Hey, I just want to address the Huckle documentary just before I get a bunch of comments. I have explained this, I just want to keep explaining it because I feel like I let a lot of people down. I just had a baby, I had some computer issues, and I'm past all that now, but I do feel when I got towards the end of it, I felt like I'd rushed it a lot, so I'm re-editing it. It's almost done. I'm just doing some final tweaks. Then I've got to render it, upload it to YouTube, go through copyright issues, anything like that. It might need re-rendered and uploaded again, but it's coming, and I can only apologize. So, today's video.
T-Series! It's your big day! Incredible job! I know we had our differences, but today, I just want to tell you.
Hey, congratulations, it's a celebration. Party all day, I know you've been waiting. Congratulations.
Today's video is more of a follow-up on a story that we included in the Hope Dies Here documentary. There'll be a link in description. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. Now, Richard Huckle was a prolific UK-born paedophile, known as the gap year paedophile. He went out to Malaysia and between 2006 and 2014 admitted to abusing over 200 children. Of course, Richard Huckle was arrested and sentenced to 22 consecutive life sentences. And that's an understatement on what this guy deserved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of footage from a news report from Sky that really goes in depth to who Huckle was and the atrocities that he committed on these really impoverished families. He was there imposing as a teacher and someone there to educate these children and help them get out of poverty. The most despicable form of predator is one who hides in the mask of trying to help or assist children, especially when it comes to poverty. Have a look. True monsters throughout the world, and that's what we're going to look at right now. We're going to look at some of the most horrific acts of paedophilia. First case we're going to look at is Richard Huckle, a UK-born paedophile. Had a 9-year streak of abusing children. He was there to educate, some as young as 6 months.
Huckle was a bright child, winning a place at the prestigious Harvey Grammar School in Folkestone. But he achieved only modest GCSE exam results. At 16, he joined fellow pupils doing project work in Namibia, southern Africa. He later returned to school, did poorly in exams, and left to study photography at college. Happy times, and perhaps the last together for the Huckle family. Soon after this photograph was taken, Richard Huckle returned to Southeast Asia, back to his extraordinary secret life of child sex abuse. On another visit home, he was arrested, and the vast scale of his crimes began to emerge. Huckle had used his religion and a fast-track teaching qualification to dupe his way into a poor community. He then spent 9 years raping their babies, toddlers, older children. Much of it he filmed and shared with other paedophiles. School friend Scott Chapman remembered Huckle as a loner.
He never seemed off or anything like that. He just seemed like a normal person, as if just very, very quiet. Didn't really talk about home and things like that. That's a lot of children. We talking a baby here?
6 months old.
It scares me, the fact that someone can change so quickly. I'm genuinely shocked. It makes you feel sick. Like a couple of the other guys that we were friends with have kids in this age range. I mean, they're a little bit older than mine, but the fact that 6, 4, 5, he may have even been around our friends' kids at this age.
Huckle began posting hundreds of pictures on the internet, mostly of children. None of these is a victim. But it did happen. For 9 years, Richard Huckle had been committing monstrous crimes against many of the children entrusted to his care. As a cover, he posted many innocent photographs of his victims on the legitimate internet. But on the encrypted websites of the dark web, he also filmed and photographed himself abusing them and shared the images with other paedophiles. But what of Richard Huckle's family? How have they reacted? It appears his parents sold up and moved away as soon as they could. His elder brother did not want to discuss him. Huckle's sister-in-law told me,
"None of his family will speak about him. None of us ever want to see Richard again."
Richard Huckle wasn't an opportunist sex attacker. He was a predator who targeted and groomed his victims and abused them systematically over many years. The judge said his crimes were of the utmost gravity, and he warned him to expect to go to prison for life.
I think for me, when something like this happens and a prolific child predator is killed in jail, you do sort of feel like justice has been served. And I know that playing PewDiePie's congratulations over the announcement of any human's death is very insensitive, and I understand that. But this guy molested and abused 200 children, okay, was going to spend the rest of his life rotting in jail, and people who do this don't last long behind bars. I think what I'd like to do at this point is just remind you guys about the Stop Child Abuse Tracing Object, where if you recognize any of these items have all come from child abuse content, and a substantial amount of arrests have been made and people have been brought to trial from people identifying items from this list. It just takes 2 minutes to go through. If any of you recognize anything on the screen just now, there's a link in description. Please make sure you use it. Everything is done with the utmost of anonymity, and we are talking about children's safety here, so just take a look, and if you need to, trace an object. Now, I know this is a lot shorter than my usual videos. I just wanted to get this information out there. I felt it was one of these stories that, although it's the death of a human being, and I wouldn't wish death on anyone really, I mean, let's be honest, it's a pretty grim topic. When it comes to people that steal innocence and prey on those who are vulnerable, it becomes very easy to adopt a mindset of an eye for an eye and to just wish some very dark thoughts. And I just felt like a lot of you would like to know that another prolific paedophile is no longer going to be an issue for children, for the judicial system, for anyone at all. I don't encourage this sort of behaviour. I would have much rather Richard Huckle sat for the rest of his life contemplating the heinous acts that he'd done against children. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree, but what I'd like you to do is down in the comment section, I want you to kind of leave what you feel and how you feel about this story. Richard Huckle being killed in prison. Would you rather individuals who do heinous crimes were just sent to death? Would you rather that there was a life prison sentence? I'm genuinely asking. You know, for me, I believe that the UK judicial system and the way that we go around rehabilitating criminals on all levels has proven to really not work. Our reoffending rate is pretty high, and there are some other countries I feel that have a much better system. Norway has got a very low reoffending rate, and I think when countries are succeeding at something, there's no harm and there's no shame in adopting things that work. And for me, I wouldn't have wanted to ever have seen Richard Huckle be rehabilitated. I don't think you can rehabilitate somebody who's abused 200 children, but certainly, touching on the topic of prisons and judicial systems, I certainly think there's room for improvement with ours. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about Richard Huckle, others like him. What are your thoughts? What would you have liked to have seen happen, or the outcome? Are you happy that this has happened? Would you rather have seen him serve out his jail sentence? And just let me know down below. Leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, click that bell. Make sure you click the bell with all notifications on, because algorithm and YouTube and all of that. So please, 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 if you're new, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, there's links to my $1 patron Freedom Army. I love you guys who support me. I mean, this is my job now, and it's awesome. Now, there's so much massive pieces of content coming for this main channel, and I'm sorry it's been such a wait, and these smaller videos aren't really what I'm about. But just hold tight, just bear with me, because there is some mother loads coming. Since you've made it this far, there's a little treat for you. Have a look at this. The topic of this documentary is hurtcore, those who watch it, those who produce it, the communities who discuss it, and the trading that goes on both on the surface and the deep web in this greatly sought after child porn category. Now, I say child porn because the main focus of topics like hurtcore and the ultra taboos, these sinister acts that happen, the more innocence that's lost, the better for the viewer, for the fan of hurtcore. And of course, there isn't anything as innocent as a child. He was given the death sentence and currently resides in San Quentin Penitentiary in the USA. Now, just before we move on from the Toolbox Killers, I really just wanted to showcase human reaction to suffering. And just before we move on from that topic, when that woman came running out of the courtroom, you got a few seconds where you could hear those tapes being played. So before we move on, just take another closer listen.
A spectator rushed from the court